You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Our top story, Tropical Storm Florence. The storm barreling down on the Carolinas tonight, leaving behind a path of destruction.
The storm surge flooding roads and strong winds downing trees. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Wilmington, North Carolina tonight. She joins us now with the latest on the storm's impact.
The storm made landfall this morning, but we have been feeling these effects for more than 24 hours. This is not letting up anytime soon. Florence weakening, but the threat still intensifying. This massive storm moving slowly, dumping life-threatening amounts of rain.
Oh gosh, it's like a bombs have gone off here. There's a lot of water.
Hundreds of people rescued from rising floodwaters in New Bern, North Carolina.
I've never seen this kind of damage here.
Powerful sustained winds and gusts up to 105 miles an hour, damaging businesses, sending this branch into Ben Selby's bedroom.
Okay, heart beating them 100 miles an hour, but and the creek is up to the house. So anyway, woo, baby.
This tree falling on a home in Wilmington, killing a mother and infant inside. First responders pausing to pray.
It's a difficult situation for all of us.
Debris whipping through streets.
I'm okay.
The storm prompting tornado watches.
If you're in Tarboro right now, you need to take shelter immediately.
Along the Outer Banks, storm surge inundating homes, and inland, the threat of devastating flash flooding just beginning.
There is a high probability this will become a mandatory evacuation order within the next 24 hours.
And while the wind and rain have calmed significantly here, the danger is still far from over. Tropical storm force conditions are expected to last through tomorrow. The rain isn't expected to let up until Sunday. And we've now learned President Trump plans to visit some of these impacted communities sometime next week. Live in Wilmington, North Carolina, Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Now back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Marcy. Well, let's check in with Bob for the latest on Hurricane Florence, which has now been downgraded, I believe, Bob.
Yeah, Marcy got it right on target there. It's although it's downgraded, it doesn't look too bad where she was. Tropical storm force conditions will be continuing through the night tonight and tomorrow. On top of that, it's only moving at 3 miles an hour. They're really quite lucky in some regards, is that if that storm center had been offshore just a little bit more, say 20 miles, it would have had a lot more fuel right over the top of it, but it still has fuel, obviously. There's still a part of it over the Atlantic right now, but it's drifting very slowly off to the west at 3 miles an hour now. And you can see not much movement since 8 o'clock this morning. The center still just to the west of Wilmington. Periods of heavy rainfall continues to make their way on shore there, especially right over parts of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Here's the latest now. The wind's at 70. The gusts are still at 85 miles an hour, which can still cause power lines to be downed as well as trees. And it's drifting, as I said, to the west at 3 miles an hour. The pressure 972 millibars, still pretty low, but it has come up. So here's the forecast, 2 a.m. Not much movement off to the west, just a little bit, and that continues with the winds rotating around in a counterclockwise fashion, just to pile that rainfall on into North Carolina. Eventually it starts to pick up speed, but that doesn't happen until Sunday midday, really, as it heads off to the northeast. But all in all, this storm is far from being over as far as the impacts go in North Carolina. Checked out some storm surge totals near Cape Fear, North Carolina. They're actually higher than we saw with Matthew a couple of years ago, and Hazel back in the 50s. So look at all these storms lined up for over 100 miles offshore, which will continue to pinwheel. Since this isn't moving, it'll go over training over the same spot right there near Morehead City, and that's where by far the heaviest rainfall has occurred today. In this general area so far, the impacts have been huge, and 15.6 inches. This was at 2 p.m. Right there near Newport, and this is a rainfall estimate for the past really 36 hours, but you got to look right there near New Bern. This area in particular had the heaviest rain, and as that whole line continues to move over the top of it, you're going to see rainfall totals here in the 20 to 30 inch range before I think Saturday comes to an end. Again, 15.9 inches there just to the northeast of Newport, and then even down south to the west of Wilmington. Wilmington really hasn't had a lot of rainfall, but Oak Island, nearly 15 inches of rain so far. As I said, more rain is on the way as this system is a huge tropical storm now. You can see we've had a little bit of rainfall, mainly east of I-75, and a few showers down in South Sarasota County. Those have since moved on. Most of the rain we'll see this evening will be well east. Should be good for football Friday night. Well, more in Isaac down in the Caribbean coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Bob. We are monitoring a developing story out of Northport tonight. Police say a neighborhood dispute turned deadly on Erie Court. Police say 62-year-old Carl Stacy was shot and killed a little after 10 o'clock this morning. Police say the shooting was the result of a dispute between neighbors, and they have the shooter in custody. He's now being questioned, and no charges have been filed against him yet.
Happening in Florida after the death of a Florida toddler believed to have been killed by his mother. A Clearwater lawyer is pushing for a change. State Representative Chris Latvala announcing that he plans on introducing Jordan's Law. The proposed bill would give caseworkers with the Department of Children and Families more resources. It's named after 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue, whose mother is accused of killing him in a moment of rage and then putting his body in the woods. Now, Jordan went missing just one day after a case manager warned his biological parents that he could be taken away from them for a second time.
This year marks a decade since the death of 2-year-old Kaylee Anthony. Last month, Anthony would have turned 13, but instead her life was cut short at the age of 2. She went missing in July of 2008. In December of that year, her body found just a few blocks away from the Anthony home. Her mother, Casey, was charged with her murder, but was later found not guilty. It was a story and a case that affected many all across the world, including the Good Nose in Sarasota. The couple deciding to build a cross to add to a memorial at the site where Kaylee's body was found.
He decorated the cross, and we took it to Orlando, and we set it up early in the morning. And when we came back about 2 hours later after eating breakfast, there was a bunch of toys around it.
So 10 years later, where is everyone in that case? Casey Anthony turned 32 this year. She mostly stays under the radar living in South Florida. Her parents, George and Cindy, still live in the same house in Orlando. George Anthony has said in numerous interviews he no longer speaks to his daughter and does believe she's guilty. Mom Cindy says she speaks to her daughter occasionally.
No swim advisories for 2 Sarasota County beaches have been lifted. Bacteria at the Venice Fishing Pier Beach and North Jetty Beach are back to satisfactory levels, causing health officials to drop the no swim recommendation. There are other no swim advisories in effect, no other advisories in effect now for either Manatee or Sarasota County.
Earlier today, Representative Vern Buchanan visited with the Small Business Administration to talk about loans being offered to business owners that have been affected by red tide. Business owners can get preferred loans up to $2 million at a 3.3% rate. In order to apply, applicants must have an acceptable credit history, must be able to show that they can repay the loan, and collateral is required for all loans over $25,000. Buchanan says these loans are crucial to help business owners get back on their feet.
Hotels, restaurants, any kind of service providers, anything beach related, which is a lot of our community, water related, have been severely impacted, and we're just trying to provide get them some assistance.
Those loans will be available through the Small Business Administration until June 4th of 2019.
The number of certified guardians protecting Manatee County schools has grown. Today, 13 more guardians joining the ranks. That means starting Monday, there will be 31 on duty and 2 lead guardians. 7 more will start training on Monday. The county has been working to fill those 40 positions for months now. After the mass shooting in Parkland, lawmakers passed a bill that requires every school in the state to have an armed security officer.
A busy waterway on the Sun Coast will be shut down for several hours tomorrow because of a sporting event. The Intracoastal Waterway will be closed on Saturday from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. because of the Battle of the Bridges Regatta. During that race, rowers will navigate underneath 3 bridges. Boaters who need to go north in the Intracoastal will need to go through Stump Pass to the Gulf. Boaters heading south will need to go through the Venice Inlet. The Venice Marine Park boat ramp will also be closed now through Saturday evening. Temporary docks have already been put in place for that event.
This will be the last weekend the Sarasota Farmers Market will be at its current location, but it's not going far. Starting the following weekend, September 22nd, the market will be shifting 1 street over. It comes in response to safety concerns from ongoing construction of the Mark. And decorative bricks will also be installed on Lemon Avenue early next year. The new market footprint will include a new addition of First Street from Lemon Avenue to Orange Avenue. Throughout this shift, the market will be open for its regular hours. Still to come in your Suncoast News, are you ready in the event of a hurricane here on the Suncoast? What you need to do now to prepare.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, how does Florida compare to other states when it comes to obesity? That answer coming up in Health Smart.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
This fall, experience golf at a higher level, where the courses are exceptionally beautiful and incredibly challenging on Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. Enjoy unlimited golf, including cart and range balls from $112 a day. Beautiful, deadly, irresistible. Is your game ready for the trail? Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com for tee times and get your game on the trail.
Stop in and save big on new Ram trucks during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years running. Get an all-new 2019 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $24,999, or save big and get up to $14,328 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
This is a live look now from Wilmington, North Carolina, which still looks a little stormy there. The system not too far away from that area, but Bob was mentioning earlier that Wilmington hasn't had it as bad as areas to the north of there, right? And that's not as much rainfall.
That's it. It's 6.6 inches estimated over the last 36 hours. And just to the south, you know 20 miles, and they've had up to a foot of rain. So that's the way these systems are. The bands where they set up, and they move over your area repeatedly, you're going to get that torrential rain, obviously, and historic rain in some regards. Already over 16 inches just to the north of Wilmington as well. The storm's moving at 3 miles an hour. At 3, I mean, it's not moving at all. So each time it kind of goes out into the Atlantic, it gathers more moisture and just dumps it over the same area repeatedly. So those lines are not going to stop. As I said earlier, I would not be surprised to see 20 to 30, like the projection said. Not everyone, but 20 to 30 with some isolated areas could get close to 40 inches of rain. Had it been off in the Atlantic a little bit more so and stayed there, you're talking more than that, a Harvey situation. We also have to worry here on the Suncoast in the month of October. October is typically when we we get hit here along the west coast of Florida because storms develop in the Caribbean, kind of move up into the Gulf, and then turn to the right. We are watching Isaac. Now, I said it before, Isaac was downgraded to a tropical depression. It's now back up to a tropical storm. So these models are having a hard time with determining the intensity of these storms, so what to watch them very closely. There's still indications are that it's going to dissipate, but I wouldn't bet on it, okay? You want to download our ABC 7 weather app. Also, go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and on the hurricane section, you can watch, if you're just now moving down here and you don't know what to do, there's a video there that we did earlier at the start of the season. You can watch the whole thing and learn how to prepare for hurricanes on that. Just takes about 45 minutes or so. You can breeze through the commercials and check it out. Well, enhanced satellite imagery. Now we have tropical storms out there as opposed to hurricanes. We had hurricanes a couple of days ago all over the Atlantic. Now it's just tropical storms. Tropical storm Florence now, and this is back up to tropical storm Isaac. That's right, Isaac, and it's kind of fooling the models just as Florence did. Looks like it's entering in an area that's a little bit more favorable for development. And so the hurricane hunters and also the folks at the National Hurricane Center suggesting it's back to tropical storm status as it makes its way to the west. And most of the models do continue to show it dissipating or at least opening up to a wave, but the UK Met is the one that's been pretty accurate with determining the intensity of the storm and keeping it as a tropical storm as it makes its way to the west. You can see the explosion of storms earlier, and there's some pretty good rotation there, some pretty good winds as well. There's some shear down the road, but right now it's entering into an area that's less favorable for that shear to be around. And so the wind's now up to 40 miles an hour. They have been down to 35. It's moving to the west at 14, and the pressure's at 1,002 millibars. Well, there's the forecast path and track. You'll notice it doesn't go that far, just out 3 days. That's because all the models are suggesting that it's going to open up to a wave here, but I wouldn't bet on it. Keep an eye on it. Most of the models take it off into the Gulf, while a cluster of them take it over Cuba into the Florida Straits and then move it into parts of Florida. So that is something to watch. It definitely will bring us some rainfall. I think increased moisture on in through Wednesday and Thursday of next week. This is the European forecast model, which does open it up to a wave. You don't see any closed low there. Once in a while, a closed low comes into play, but not with this particular model. It just kind of moves right up into a western tip of Cuba, and you'll see that moisture moving right on toward Florida on into Thursday and Friday. So bears watching. We still have over a couple of months to go before the official end of the hurricane season for 2018. This one is going to continue to bring heavy rainfall into the Carolinas, obviously. And for us, not a lot of rainfall around today due to some dry air, also some west to northwest winds wrapping around Florence. And these will have a tendency to move off to the south and east throughout the remainder of the evening. So football Friday night near the coast, not a problem. Inland areas, a bit of a problem as this heavy rainfall continues near Mayaca City, stretching up toward the Mayaca Head. Elsewhere in the Gulf, things are fairly quiet there and should stay that way. This system we were watching too, potential for development. You can see some rotation there. It's moving into Texas. It doesn't have much of a chance to develop before it reaches there. The periods of heavy rainfall not over for Wilmington though, although they've had 6.6 inches. You can see this starting to train just to the south of Wilmington, so more on the way there. And then this area in particular has been hit the hardest with that stretch of showers and storms extending over 150 miles south of it. So the forecast is still calling for the potential for 20 inches there near Wilmington. 88 degrees for us right now here along the Sun Coast. Feels like 101, so summer's not over. There's plenty of heat out there and energy. What we are going to see is eventually a trough of low pressure carry the system out of here, but that doesn't happen until late Sunday and into Monday, when eventually it will move off toward the northeast and bring some heavy rainfall into the Appalachians as well. Temperatures very warm over the southeast, cooler over the northeast. Boston now at 76. It's 90 in Minneapolis, but here comes that cooler air in that trough, which will eventually pick up Florence, but it'll take about 3 days to get there. Well, here's the forecast for boaters tomorrow. Looks good. West winds at 10 knots. Unfortunately for the red tide, and the full reports to come out here shortly, with a light chop on the bays and inland waters on both Saturday and Sunday. As far as the rain chances go, they stay low on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but here comes that moisture back into play. Showers and thunderstorms, a real good possibility Tuesday through Friday of next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And first alert traffic in the Bradenton area, no major incidents there. South into Sarasota County, we're seeing a crash on I-75 near the Fruitville Road exit. And then the interstate all clear as you head south from there. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, a new report shows Florida has a lower adult obesity rate than many other states. Just under 30% of adults living in Florida are obese, ranking the state 36th in the U.S. That report was released Thursday by Trust for America's Health and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. No state has had a statistically significant improvement in its obesity rate over the past year. Cancer-related deaths in the U.S. fell by 26% over the last 14 years leading up to 2015. That's according to a report released this week by the American Association for Cancer Research. The number of people in the U.S. living with cancer is at an all-time high, and that number is expected to increase as the population continues to age. Coming up, a series of deadly explosions in Massachusetts. A look at the damage and what investigators say is most likely the cause. Plus, a bizarre beach run for police in Chicago.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords, all on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Investigators are on the scene now after a series of natural gas explosions in the suburbs of Boston. Those blasts setting fire to dozens of homes and businesses, killing one person and injuring dozens more. And as ABC's Linda Lopez reports, it sent people rushing out of their neighborhoods.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Ed Markey, and Governor Charlie Baker met with authorities and surveyed the damage after a series of terrifying gas explosions late Thursday ignited fires in at least 39 homes in the towns of Lawrence, Andover, and North Andover, just north of Boston. The National Transportation Safety Board on the scene.
Pipeline is within our jurisdiction as well. When you think about it, pipeline as a mode of transportation. We'll look at the emergency response. We'll look at the system safety program.
Entire neighborhoods, more than 8,000 people forced to evacuate as crews scrambled to fight the flames and shut off gas and electricity.
I made clear to the utility company last night that it needs to significantly boost its operational capacity and enhance its plan.
One person was killed, an 18-year-old whose car was hit by a chimney that fell from one of the house explosions. And now we're learning that Columbia Gas, the company that services the homes that were asked to evacuate, was blamed by federal investigators for a previous incident in 2012 when a natural gas pipeline exploded in West Virginia. Columbia Gas has put out an updated statement saying, quote, "Our thoughts and continued support are with those who have been injured and affected," and saying they've mobilized crews from more than 500 resources to visit each of the 8,600 affected customers to shut off each gas meter and conduct a safety inspection. Columbia Gas is also telling residents not to re-enter their homes unless they are with a gas company representative. The Red Cross also now operating 4 shelters in the area for those evacuated residents. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
Crews are picking up the pieces this afternoon after a multi-million-dollar home in Brentwood, California went up in flames this morning. Luckily, the property was vacant. Nearly 100 firefighters battled that blaze. One firefighter was treated for medical concerns, but no one else was reported injured. The cause of that fire is still under investigation.
Police in Chicago spent some time at the beach recently, but it wasn't for fun in the sun. It was for someone on the run. A man who police say was suspected of robbing a cell phone store at gunpoint led police on a chase before jumping into Lake Michigan in an attempt to escape. It didn't work, of course. Officers were waiting for him until he waded out of the water.
More destruction from Hurricane Florence, that storm flooding our sister news station. Take a look at these photos shared on Facebook from WCTI in New Bern, North Carolina. They show the waters inside that studio getting dangerously close to technical equipment. The entire station forced to evacuate. 2 meteorologists were the last to leave, staying behind until it was no longer safe for them to be there, handing over operations to their affiliate in Myrtle Beach until they were safe. And from what I understand, that they let their forecast play on loop until they were able to hand it over to the other station. So. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, following Florence, from scattered debris to flooded roadways.
Look at the damage being caused by the storm as it continues its destructive path.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
For the best car buying experience, go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota, where you always get better prices and a bigger selection. Like KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $22,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment, and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.